Class our topic. Class our topic for today is CVP analysis or cost volume profit analysis. So basically, i-analyze natin yung changes in cost and volume and yung effects nila sa profits ng company. Okay? Now, CVP analysis is useful for management's decision making. And yung format na ginagamit for CVP analysis is what you call the contribution margin income statement or also called CVP income statement. Sir, ano ba yung contribution margin income statement? So basically, yun yung income statement na ang focus niya is on the behavior of costs. Behavior. Sir, parang familiar yan. Naalala nyo yung sa first topic natin, sa cost concepts? Yung cost as to behavior, pwedeng dalawa yan. Pwedeng variable, pwedeng fixed. Okay? That's why, class, for the contribution margin income statement, magsimula tayo with sales. Obviously, kasi income statement yan. So, sales ka muna mag-start. Minus the variable cost. Ang tawag natin sa difference ng sales and variable cost is your contribution margin. Kaya tinawag na contribution margin income statement. Minus fixed cost, you get the profit. Okay? So, class, for management services, for MS, yung profit, tinatawag din siya na operating income, tinatawag din siya na net income. Okay? So, pwede natin gamitin sila interchangeably, pero mag-stick tayo sa profit. Alright? So, sabi ko class, ang focus yan is on behavior because meron tayong variable cost and meron tayong fixed cost. Okay? Now, yung variable cost dito, it pertains to the variable manufacturing cost. Or, alam natin class, sa cost concepts, ang tawag sa manufacturing cost is the product cost. Ano ba examples ng variable manufacturing cost? Direct materials, direct labor, and variable overhead. Okay? Nandyan din yung variable selling and administrative expenses or what we call the period cost. Okay? So, pag sinabi kong variable cost, ito yung components yan, ha? Pag sinabi mo namang fixed cost, nandyan yung fixed manufacturing cost or basically yung fixed overhead, and you also have your fixed selling and administrative expenses. Okay? So, merong manufacturing cost, meron ding period cost. Well, obviously, yung format na yan is not compliant with PFRS. Di ba? Hindi naman ganyan yung format na alam natin sa accounting. Sa accounting, sales minus cost of goods sold, you have gross profit, minus operating expenses, you have net income. Di ba ganun yan? Kaya class, sa discussion natin, yung first topic, alam natin class na yung reports na may prepare for management services, for internal use lang yan. Okay? Si management lang yung gagamit yan. That's why the contribution margin income statement, hindi siya pwedeng gamitin ng mga external users. For internal use only. Okay? Now, from the contribution margin income statement, makaka-derive tayo ng different formulas. Okay? First formula natin is, shorten ko na lang, is the break-even point. So basically, pag sinabing break-even point, yun yung amount ng sales wherein mako-cover natin yung total cost natin. Ano yung total cost? Yun yung variable cost plus fixed cost. Okay? So kaya pag sabing, pag naka-break-even ka na, ibig sabihin, yung sales mo na-cover na yung cost mo. Okay? So pag ibig sabihin, class, pag yung sales mo equal sa cost mo, at break-even point, your profit is equal to 0. Tama lang? Okay. Now, focus tayo sa formula. Kung yung profit mo 0, yung sales mo equal sa total cost, ibig sabihin class, para mag-0 yung profit, yung contribution margin mo should be equal to your fixed cost. Does that make sense? Okay. At break-even point, totoo yung tatlo na yan. Sales is equal to total cost, profit is equal to 0, and contribution margin is equal to fixed cost. Kasi pag equal yan, 0 yung profit mo. Alright? Now, yung break-even point class, pwede siyang in units or in pesos. So, pag-aaralan mo natin yung formula, later, i-apply natin yan. Okay? So, makinig ka muna, copy mo muna yung masusulat ko sa board. Now, if in units, ang formula natin in class is fixed cost over contribution margin per unit. Pag naman pesos, ang formula mo dyan, fixed cost over contribution margin ratio. Okay? Sir, paano computein yung contribution margin ratio? Basically, CM over sales. Okay, ulitin ko class ha. Pag sinabing break-even point, pwedeng units, pwedeng pesos. Pag units, so laging fixed cost yung numerator mo. Pag units, CM per unit. Okay? Pag pesos, CM ratio yung gagamitin mo. Which is CM over sales. Okay? Again, mamaya, i-apply natin yan. Sulat mo muna. Next formula, target profit. Sir, ano naman yung target profit? Pag meron kang gustong i-achieve na profit or desired profit, target profit tawag doon. Pwede rin yung dalawa. Okay? It can be expressed in units. It can be expressed in pesos. Actually, medyo i-tweak lang natin ng konti yung formula dito sa break-even point. Pag target profit, fixed cost pa rin, yung numerator. Pero mag-add ka. Add mo yung target profit over contribution margin per unit. Okay? So, unit. Pag naman pesos, fixed cost plus target profit over CM ratio. O, parang ganito rin. Parang break-even lang din. Except that, nagdagdag tayo sa numerator ng target profit. Okay? Take note class. Ito important to. No? Marami nagkakamali dito. Yung target profit na yan is before tax. It should be before tax. Alright? Kaya pag after tax yung given sa'yo, i-gross up mo pa siya. Ulitin ko yun ha. Yung target profit before tax yan ha. In-circle ko, magkamali ka pa. Before tax. Now, technically class, yung target profit, hindi siya break-even. Though similar yung formula nila, pero hindi siya break-even. So basically, yung target profit, iyan yung gusto mo ma-achieve or iyan yung desired profit mo. Okay? Now class, analyze muna natin. Yung break-even point, ano gusto mo dyan? Mataas o mababa? Ano gusto mo? Mataas o mababa? Sa break-even point, gusto mo dyan mababa. Bakit, sir? Kasi gusto mo, konting sales lang, gusto mo makover na yung cost mo agad. Does that make sense? Okay. Sa target profit naman, ang gusto ko dyan, mababa din. Gusto ko na konti lang yung ibenta ko, pero ma-reach ko agad yung profit ko. Okay, so ibig sabihin, for break-even point and for target profit, the lower, the better. Okay, so let's go to sa new MS, margin of safety. Sulat mo lang. Margin of safety, basically class, iyan yung buffer natin. Okay, iyan yung buffer natin before tayo mag-net loss. Okay, so iyan yung pwedeng ibaba ng sales mo before ka mag-net loss. So pakita ko yung formula. Yung formula ng class, ng margin of safety, pwede siyang i-express in units, in pesos, and pwede siyang in ratio. Okay? So yung margin of safety in units, basically class, iyan yung sales minus break-even point in units. Okay, so unit sales minus break-even point in units. Pag pesos naman, sales in pesos. Okay, so ito units, no? Sales in pesos minus break-even point in pesos. Alright? Yung ratio naman, basically, margin of safety, divide mo na sa sales. So basta may ratio, parang kanina, CM ratio, yung numerator mo, sales. MS ratio, denominator mo is sales. Okay? Now, ito important. Take note mo to. Yung sales na pinag-uusapan natin dito, class, can be actual or planned sales. Kung ano yung given sa problem. Okay? Pwedeng actual sales, pwedeng planned sales. Tandaan mo lang, syempre, units minus units, pesos minus pesos. Syempre, dapat consistent ka dyan. Okay? Class, sa margin of safety, ano mas gusto mo? Mas mataas or mas mababa? Sa margin of safety, mas gusto ko na mas mataas yan. Mas malaki yung buffer ko. Okay? Ibig sabihin, okay lang kahit mas malaki yung malose ko sa sales, hindi pa rin ako mag-net loss. Okay? So basically, ganun siya. Gusto ko mas mataas yung buffer ko before ako mag-net loss. Next, degree of operating leverage. Pakita ko muna yung formula, i-apply natin later. DOL is equal to contribution margin over profit. Ito siya. Contribution margin over profit. Basically, guys, pag sinabi mong DOL, ito yung percentage change in sales, kung ano yung effect niya in profits. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng DOL. For each percentage change in sales, how much yung effect niya in profits? Sir, parang hindi ko na-gets yun. Bigyan natin ng example. For example, class, yung DOL natin is 5. Yun yung compute natin, 5. Now, pag yung sales mo tumaas ng 10%, okay, yung sales. Sabi dyan, yung DOL, for each percentage change in sales, ano daw yung effect niya in profits? Ang magiging effect mo sa profits is mag-i-increase ng 50%. Okay? Kasi yung DOL mo is 5. Gets na? Okay, so yun ang ibig sabihin ng DOL. I-apply natin yan later. Next naman, sensitivity analysis. Basically, yun yung mga scenarios, no? Pwedeng, ang sasabihin na sa inyo sa problem, okay, so what if itaas natin yung selling price? Ano yung effect niya sa profit? What if baguhin natin yung variable cost, yung fixed cost? Okay? So ano yung effect nila sa profits or sa sales ng company? Yun lang ibig sabihin ng sensitivity analysis. So technically, class, ang kailangan mo lang malaman or matandaan is yung first 4. Okay? Break-even point, target profit, margin of safety, and DOL. Ito, FYI na lang yung sensitivity analysis. Okay? Yan lang yung kailangan mo tandaan for CVP analysis. I-apply natin yan. Let's go to the problems. Okay, dito tayo sa problem number 1. Problem number 1. Okay, nakita nyo na yung Nina Corporation. Okay, Nina Corporation is a single product firm with the following selling price and cost structure for next year. Selling price per unit, 1.8. Contribution margin ratio, 40%. And total fixed expenses, 218,700. How many units will it have to sell in order to break even? Okay, so sabi ni sir, pag break even point in units, sulat mo na agad yung formula. Fixed cost over CM per unit. Ulitin ko, pag units yung tanong, unit dapat yung denominator mo. Pag pesos yung tanong, CM ratio yung denominator mo. Okay, so ito lang pala yung formula. So madali lang siya. Fixed cost natin class is 218,700. Oh, given na sa problem. Sir, how much naman yung contribution margin per unit? Well, meron tayong selling price. Tama ba? Selling price mo is 1.8. Okay? Selling price is 1.8. Yung CM ratio natin is 40%. Alam mo na yung CM ratio is CM over sales. Therefore, pag minultiply ko yan by 40%, makukuha ko yung CM. Does that make sense? So 1.8 times 0.4, you get 0.72. So yung CM natin is 0.72 per unit. O, lagay mo yan sa denominator. 218,700 divide by 0.72, you get 303,750. Answer natin class for number 1 is 303,750 units. Ganun lang. Ganun na kadali. Okay, alam mo yung formula? Apply mo yung formula. Actually, class for CVP analysis, madali lang naman yung computation dyan. Pero ang important dyan is dapat naiintindihan mo rin kung para sa yung mga formulas na yan. Okay? Now, what if class, ang tanong sa'yo is pesos. Units kasi yan eh. Paano pag pesos? Eh, di apply mo lang to. Okay, so gagawin ko lang pag pesos, fixed cost over CM ratio. Tama? Yung fixed cost ko, 218,700 over CM ratio na 40%, which is given in the problem, 218,700 divided by 0.4, you have 546,750. Okay? Pag pesos, ito naman siya. So, lagay mo ng pesos. Ingat ka lang kasi minsan, may panlito sa choices. Okay? Units na nakalagay or pesos. Tanda mo lang, pag CM ratio, pesos yan. Pag units, pag CM per unit, units yung makuha mo. Okay? Actually, may isa pa tayong way para makuha yung 546,750. Di ba class, nakuha mo na yung 303,750 units? Tama? Multiply mo lang sa selling price yan. Sige nga, multiply natin. 303,750 times 1.8, you get 546,750. Okay? So, maraming ways para makuha yung answer. But basically, final answer natin is letter C, 303,750. Number 2. The following data are available for Irwin Company. The break-even sales for the month. Siyempre, tingnan mo yung choices. Nakalagay pesos. Tama? So, ito agad. Okay? So, fixed cost over CMR agad. Automatic. Fixed cost over CMR. Okay. So, meron tayong sales. And then, nakita mo yung fixed expenses, 55,000. Alright? So, 55,000 yung nasa given. Ano class yung CM ratio natin? Pag CM ratio, CM over sales. So, how much yung CM natin? Well, gamitin mo yung total na 148,000. 148,000 yung total contribution margin. I-divide natin sa total sales na 370,000. Nakuha mo ba yung 40%? Okay, so 40% CMR. 55,000 divided by 0.4, you get 137,500. Answer natin, letter D, 137,500. Easy. Yan, dali lang. Alam yung formula, apply natin. Let's go to number 3. Okay, Delilah Company makes a single product that it sells for 16 per unit. Ano yung 16? Selling price. Okay? Fixed costs are 76,800 per month, 76,800, and the product has a contribution margin ratio of 40%. If the company's actual sales are 224,000, its margin of safety is, margin of safety, and nasa choices pesos. Eh di syempre, ito yung pipiliin mo dyan. Okay? So, sulat mo agad yung formula sa board exam. Margin of safety is equal to sales minus break-even point in sales. Okay, yung pesos. Now, okay, so sales, sabi ni sir, yung sales dyan, pwedeng actual, pwedeng plan. Pag sabing plan, budgeted ang ibig sabihin nun, okay? Ang given sa atin is actual sales. Nakuha mo yan? Actual sales. Now, actual sales, 224,000. Now, yung break-even point, yun yung hindi ko alam. Wala sa given. Buti na lang, alam natin yung formula ng break-even point. So, alam natin yung sales, ito na lang. Basta makuha natin yung break-even point, kuha na natin yung sagot. Tama? Paano ko compute yan? Well, alam ko, ang formula ko is fixed cost over CMR. Fixed cost in the problem is 76,800. Yung CMR natin is 40%, given siya. 76,800 divided by 40%, you get 192,000. Okay? So, margin of safety, sales, in this case, actual sales minus break-even point in sales, or in pesos, 192. Tingnan natin class, 224,000 minus 192,000, you get 32,000. Letter A is the final answer. Ulitin ko, ano ibig sabihin ng margin of safety? Iyan yung buffer mo before ka mag-net loss. Ibig sabihin, class, pwedeng bumaba yung sales natin up to 32,000 pesos bago tayo mag-incur ng net loss. Does that make sense? Kaya gusto natin, sa margin of safety, mas mataas. Gusto natin na mas malaki yung buffer natin bago tayo mag-net loss sa business. Gets? Okay. Let's go to number 4. Bilis lang. Bilis lang tayo. Number 4. Okay. Tignan natin, class. Below is an income statement for Philip Company. Your sales, variable cost, contribution margin, fixed cost, profit before tax. Ang tawag na dyan, contribution margin income statement. Based on the cost and revenue structure, what was the break-even point in pesos? Automatic. Pag pesos, fixed cost over CMR. Okay, so question number 1, sulat mo na agad dyan. Q1, fixed cost over CMR. Yung fixed cost natin in the problem, 200,000. CMR natin, ano yung CMR? CM over sales. So, computin natin. Yung CM, 275,000, divide natin sa sales na 400,000, you get 68.75%. 68.75%. Okay, so 200,000 divide by 0.6875. Decimal. Pag decimal na ganyan, syempre sa board exam, reviewin mo muna yung sagot mo, ha? Okay. Kung ni-review mo yung sagot mo, decimal pa rin. Panindigan mo na yan. So 290, 909. Well, fortunately, nasa choices, which is letter D. Okay, what is the margin of safety? Question 2. Sabi niya sir, yung margin of safety, difference siya ng sales minus yung break-even. So, sales minus break-even point. Okay? May given na yung sales dito, 400,000. Given sa problem, 400,000. Sa question 1, nakuha ko na yung break-even. So, yung difference na nila, 400,000 minus 290, 909, you get 109,091, which is letter D, 109,091. Easy. Okay? So, ganyan. Pag nakasagot ka sa board exam, sabihan mo lang, easy. Para sure na tama ka. Okay? So, ayan, ganyan lang. Number 4. Ay, may 2 questions pa pala. Question number 3. Sagutin na rin natin yung question number 3. Assuming that the fixed costs are expected to remain at 200,000, which is yun yung given sa atin sa taas, for the coming year, and the sales price per unit and variable cost per unit are also expected to remain constant. Okay? So same yung fixed cost, same yung sales price and variable cost. How much profit before tax will be produced if the company anticipates sales for the coming year rising to 130% of the current year's level? Okay, so how much daw yung effect dun sa profit before tax natin or sa profit natin? Pag tumaas yung sales ng 130%. Ano ba yung sales natin yun? 400, tama? Gagawin ko lang dito class, well, susundin ko lang kung ano yung sinabi sa problem. So, yung sales natin, from 400,000, tataas daw siya ng magiging 130%. Ibig sabihin, 400,000 times 1.3, 520,000 yung bago kong sales. Okay? Now, 520,000, hindi daw mababago yung variable cost mo. Ibig sabihin, kung hindi mo mababago yung variable cost mo, yung CM ratio mo will still be the same. Yun yung implication nun. Ano yung CM ratio natin? 68.75%. So, pag pinultiply ko yan sa 68.75%, times 0.6875, you get 357,500. This is your contribution margin. 357,500. Okay, ang tanong is profit. So, i-minus mo pa yung fixed cost. Minus fixed cost, hindi doon nagbago na 200,000. Answer natin yung class, 357,500 minus 200,000, you get 157,500. This is your profit. Final answer natin, letter C, 157,500. Okay? Question number 4. What is the degree of operating leverage? DOL. Okay, ano yung formula ng DOL? Contribution margin over profit. Ito. CM over profit. Yun lang yung DOL natin. So, compute natin class. Okay, so DOL, CM over profit. Well, given na yung CM sa atin. So, CM natin sa problem is 275,000. Nasa given siya. 275,000. Okay. And then, di-divide ko sa profit. Ano yung profit dito? 75,000. Okay, so given din siya. 275,000 divided by 75,000. You get 3.67. Again, decimal na naman. Reviewin mo muna sa boards. Okay, double check mo, recompute mo. Yung pa rin nakuha natin. So, answer 3.67, letter A. Okay. Sabi ko kanina, madali lang yung formulas. I-apply mo lang naman, tama? Familiarize yourself, memorize the formulas, plug in mo yung amounts, kuha mo na yung sagot. Pero more important dito is the interpretation. So, ano ba ibig sabihin ng DOL? Sabi ko dyan, yung DOL, for percentage change in sales, ano yung magiging effect niya sa profits? Kanina, example ko, pag yung DOL mo 5, pag tumaas ng 10% yung sales, 10% times 5, ang effect sa profits, 50%. Okay? Actually, class, pwede natin i-apply yan sa question number 3. Okay? Balikan natin yung question number 3. Ama ba yung sales tumaas ng 30%? Kasi, ang mangyayari daw, magiging 130% siya next year. Ibig sabihin, tumaas ng 30%. Okay? And how much yung magiging profit natin? Dapat ma-compute natin yung 157,500 using yung DOL. Sige nga, try natin. Kung yung sales natin, okay, mag-i-increase ng 30%. Okay, so 30% yung increase ng sales. Now, yung DOL natin is 3.67. Tingnan natin, 30%. 30 times 3.67. Dapat yung profit mo tumaas ng 110%. Okay? Tama? 30% times 3.67 is 110%. Tama? Now, tingnan natin kung ano mangyayari sa profit natin. So, yung lumang profit natin, yung old profit na given sa problem is 75,000. Okay, 75,000. 75,000, ulitin ko, di ba tumaas yung sales kanina ng 30%? Dapat tumaas yung profits natin ng 110%. Tingnan natin kung consistent, okay? So 75,000 plus 75,000 times 1.1, kasi 110% times 1.1, you get 82,500. Okay? 75,000 plus 82,500, you get 157,500. Which is consistent dun sa nakuha natin sa question number 3. Gets? So actually, yung question number 3, pwede mo siyang sagutan, katulad ng ginawa ko kanina, or pwede mo i-apply yung degree of operating leverage. Ulitin ko lang. Degree of operating leverage, kung ano yung change in sales, kung how much mamamagnify sa profits. In this case, ang change sa sales is 30%. Okay? Ang DOL natin is 3.67. 30% times 3.67, yun yung magiging change dun sa, or effect dun sa profits mo. Kaya, yung old profits natin, 75,000, tumaas ng 100, or nadagdagan pa ng 110%, 75 plus 82,500, answer mo 157,500. Gets? Okay. That's for DOL. So nga, jump muna tayo dun sa problem number 8. Mga class, jump tayo sa problem number 8 kasi about DOL din yun. So, bilisan na natin. For number 8, tingnan natin class. Ito na lang. Ano na naman yan? Same concept lang yan sa number, sa problem 4. Number 8. Hire a company, produce and sold. Ilan yan? 41,000 units of a single product last year with the following results. Meron tayong sales revenue, manufacturing cost, selling cost, and administrative cost. Question number 1, the operating leverage factor. Yan din yung degree of operating leverage. DOL. Same lang yan. And then question number 2, if sales daw mag-increase ng 15%. Okay, compute mo natin yung DOL. Sabi ni sir, yung DOL, contribution margin over profit. Ibig sabihin, kailangan natin ma-compute yung contribution margin. Start mo tayo with sales. Given sa problem, 1,350,000. Minus variable cost. Nasaan yung variable cost dyan? Uy, nakita mo may tatlong variable cost. Manufacturing, selling, administrative. Nakita mo yan? Sabi ko kanina, yung variable cost na yan, manufacturing, selling, and administrative. Okay? So, total lang natin yan. Yung manufacturing muna, 585,000. Yung variable selling, plus 40,500. And then variable administrative, 184,500. Na-compute mo ba yung 810,000 for variable cost? Minus 810,000. Contribution margin natin is, so 1,350 minus 810, 540,000. Minus fixed cost. Ano yung fixed cost dyan? Manufacturing pa rin. Or basically, yung fixed overhead natin and yung fixed selling and administrative. Add natin yung class. Fixed manufacturing cost, 270,000 plus yung fixed selling, 54 plus fixed administrative, 108. Nakuha mo ba yung 432,000? Yes. Okay, minus 432,000. Therefore, yung profit natin, 540 minus 432, 108,000. Okay. So, nakuha na natin yung contribution margin and yung profit. Lagay na natin sa formula. Contribution margin is 540. Yung profit natin is 108,000. Our degree of operating leverage is 540 divided by 108. 5, letter, boy. Okay? Sagot mo dyan is boy. Okay, so apply natin yung DOL. If the sales revenue increased by 15%, what will be the percentage increase in income before tax? Okay, so sabi ni sir, yung DOL, basically, iyan yung effect nun sa profits. So pag tumaas, ito yung Q1, tama? Ito naman yung question 2. Pag tumaas ng 15% yung sales, mamamagnify siya ng 5 times. Okay, yung effect sa profit. So, 15% times 5 is 75%. Okay? So, ang sagot natin for question number 2 is 75%. Pag tumaas ng 15% yung sales, tataas ng 75% yung profits. Okay? For question number 2, dog. Okay. Ayan. So, sagot pa tayo, class. So, madali lang naman yung CVP analysis. So, kaya. Yung 5 ba, sagot na natin, di pa, diba? Okay. Let's go to number 5. Okay, so number 5, easy lang din to. K Corporation produces and sells a single product. Information of its costs follow. Okay, variable cost na selling and administrative and then production. So pag sinabing production cost, ang ibig sabihin ng dinun class yung manufacturing cost or product cost. Okay, same lang yan. And then, fixed cost, selling and admin or SG&A, general administrative, same lang din yan. Ibig sabihin lang yan yung period cost and production 15 per year. Total mo nga class yung fixed cost dyan, 12,000 plus 15,000. Tama ba? 25,000 yan. So sulat mo yan. Fixed cost, total fixed cost is 27,000. Okay, question number 1. Okay, assume it produced and sold 5,000 units. At this level of activity, it produced a profit of 18,000. What was the sales price per unit? Aba, makaiba yung tanong Sales price per unit. Well, actually, pwede kong gamitan ng algebra to. Tama? So, gagawin ko dyan, given yung 5,000 units, iyan daw yung nabenta natin. Ang tinatanong yung sales price. Okay, so, lagyan natin S. Tama? So, tama ba class? 5,000 units, pag minultiply mo yan sa selling price and ano to? Selling price minus variable cost, iyan yung contribution margin mo, tama? So, contribution margin, pag minus mo yan sa fixed cost, makukuha mo yung profit. Okay na? 18,000. Tama lang? Now, 5,000, selling price, yun yung hinahanap natin. Ano yung variable cost? Uy, nasa taas. 2 per unit yung SG&A, 4 per unit yung production. Tama ba? Yung variable cost per unit natin is 6. Okay? So, S minus 6. Yung fixed cost na compute natin earlier, 27,000. Makukuha doon natin na profit is 18,000. Hindi pwede tayo mag-solve for S. Okay, so paano gawin natin dyan, sir? Solve for S lang tayo. So, 5,000, times ko sa 6. Okay? Times 6, 30,000, minus 27. Tapos, lilipat ko dito, minus 18,000. Okay? So, makukuha ko dyan, 5,000S is equal to 15,000. Ayan, ganyan makukuha ko. Algebra, tama? Solve for S, 15,000 divided by 5. Tama ba? So, mali pala. Ulitin natin. Nung kamali ako ng algebra. Isa-isay natin. So, 5,000S minus 30,000 minus 27,000 is equal to 18,000. Yan. Okay, so 5,000S is equal to, so 18,000, lilipat ko doon. So, add ko, plus 30 plus 27, you get 75,000. Solve for S. Yung S natin, iyon yung selling price, you get 15 per unit. Letter A is our answer. Okay? So, may isa pang way. Paano i-solve yan? Pwede rin ganito, class. Alam natin na yung contribution margin natin, okay, from this formula is also equal to fixed cost plus profit. Tama ba yan? Kasi pag nilipan mo ito doon, contribution margin, nag-algebra ka lang, is equal to fixed cost plus profit. Okay, so if contribution margin is equal to fixed cost plus profit, so from there, tingnan natin class, Well, hindi ko alam kung how much yung contribution margin, pero alam ko yung fixed cost, 27. 27. Profit naman, 18. Okay? Therefore, yung contribution margin natin is 27,000 plus 18,000, you get 45,000. 45,000. Okay, so, yung 45,000, ang produce daw natin at binenta natin, according to question number 1, is 5,000 units. So, 5,000, pag dinivide mo yan, yung contribution margin mo is 9. Okay, 9 per unit. Paano mo makuha yung selling price, di ba? Contribution margin plus variable cost is equal to selling price. Pag in-add mo yan, dapat equal sa sales or selling price. Ano yung variable cost natin? 6. O 9 plus 6 is 15. Okay, so, yun ang maganda sa MS, no? Pwede ka mag-algebra. Okay, so ginawa natin dito. Actually, mas madali ito. Kasi in-apply lang natin yung contribution margin income statement, nakuha natin yung 15. Pwede rin to. So, maraming ways para ma-solve mo yung problem. Yun ang maganda sa MS. Okay? Actually, sa board exam, ang last resort mo dito, pag di mo talaga makuha yung sagot sa board exam for MS, pwede mong i-substitute yung choices. Okay? Kung ano yung consistent sa choices, kung ano yung consistent sa given, okay, most likely yun yung tamang sagot. Pero syempre, last resort yan ha. Huwag yun yung gagawin mo una pa lang. Okay? So, last resort yan. Let's go to question number 2. Basahin natin class. In the upcoming year, it estimates that it will produce and sell 4,000 units. The variable cost per unit and total fixed costs are expected to be the same. Okay, so ano ba yung variable cost? 6 per unit. Ano yung fixed cost? 27,000 naman. However, it anticipates a sales price of 16 per unit. What is the projected margin of safety? Uy, okay, margin of safety. So, sales minus yung break-even point. Yan lang yung margin of safety. Okay, so, yung sales, alam na natin yan. Tama? Well, magbebenta daw ng 4,000 units. Okay, 4,000. Ano yung selling price sa problem? 15, tama? Sorry. Ang selling price sa problem is, binigay ba? Yeah, 16 pesos. Nakita mo yun? 16? Okay. So, 4,000 units, binenta at 16 per unit. Nakuha ko din ng class, yung sales ko, 64,000. Tama lang? So, yung units, number of units sold, 4,000 units, times 16 per unit, 64,000 yung sales. Okay. Hindi ma-minus ko lang sa break-even point, makuha ko din sagot. Sir, ano nga ba yung break-even point? Di ba sir, ano yan? Fixed cost over CM ratio. Okay. Yung fixed cost, same daw. So, 27,000 pa rin yan. Walang problema. Yung CM ratio na lang yung problema natin. Paano natin malalaman kung how much yung CM ratio? Well, alam natin class na ang bagong selling price is 16. Yung variable cost natin, same daw na 6. Okay? 6. Therefore, yung CM natin is 10. Ano yung CM ratio? 10 over 16. 10 divided by 16, you get 62.5%. Okay? 62.5%. Therefore, yung break-even point natin is 27,000 divided by 0.625, you get 43,200. Break-even point natin, 43,200. Okay, 64,000 minus 43,200, you get 64,000 minus 43,200, you get 20,800. Boy is our final answer. Letter B for question number 2. Okay, so ganun simple. Before we take our break, tapusin na natin yung problem solving. So, pakita natin kung paano yung sagutan yung number 6. Okay. Lorry Company produces, erase ko na ha, make sure nakapin mo yung solution natin. Okay, so Lorry Company, or Lorelei Company produces and sells 2 products, A and B, in the ratio of 3:5, ba? Dalawang products. Actually, class, yung mga nasagutan natin, okay, as of problem number 5, lahat yan, ang assumption natin, isang product lang yung binibenta, okay? Actually, pag binasa mo agad binasa mo ulit yung mga questions earlier, ang sinasabi doon, 1 product. Sir, paano kung multiple products yung binibenta? Medyo iti-tweak lang natin ng konti yung formulas natin. Yung break-even point, okay, if multiple products, ibig sabihin, more than 1, okay, yung binibenta natin, i-consider natin, class, yung sales mix. So, ano yung sales mix? Basahin natin. Lorelei Company produces and sells 2 products, multiple products, in the ratio of 3:5. Okay? So, si product A, product B. For every 3 units ni product A, merong 5 units na nabebenta na product B. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng sales mix. Gets? Okay. Now, ang kailangan mo tandaan, class, may concept tayo na, mamaya papakita ko yan, na composite break-even. Okay? Ibig sabihin, ito yung composite break-even point. Iyon yung total na mabebenta natin na products A and B. Okay? So later sulat muna. And ang i-consider mo dyan is the weighted average contribution margin. Yun lang, yung may iba sa formula natin. Instead na CM per unit, ang gagamitin mo, weighted average contribution margin per unit. Instead na CM ratio, ang gagamitin mo, weighted average CM ratio. Okay? Sir, paano yan? Tingnan natin. So, number 6. Okay, so lagay muna natin class dyan, yung mga given. No? Si A, compute natin yung CM nila. Okay? Si A, nakalagay dyan, selling price niya is 1,200. Nakita mo yan? Si B naman, 240. Okay, so si A, 1,2, si B naman, 240. Alright. Variable costs are 480 and 160. So, variable cost ni A, 480. Si B naman, 160. Compute natin yung CM nila. Tama, kasi sales minus variable cost, CM yun eh. So, 12 minus 480, you have 720. 240 minus 160, you have 80. Ano nakuha na natin? Yung contribution margin of A and B. Sabi ko kanina, weighted average contribution margin. Ganito lang kasimple yan. So, yung weighted average contribution margin, gagamitin lang natin weights yung sales mix niya. Ano yung sales mix sa problem na to? 3:5. Okay, so gagawin ko lang, 720 times 3 over 8. 8 dapat yung denominator mo kasi 3:5. 3 plus 5 is 8. Tama lang? Plus 80 times 5 over 8. Ayun, yun ang contribution margin natin. Kumpitin natin at plus 720 times 3 over 8. And then 80 times 5 over 8. Nakuha kong total dyan is 320. Nakuha mo yan? So yan, 320. Yun lang yung magbabago sa computation natin. Let's go to letter A, break even. Okay, question A, how much daw yung break even? Ang gagawin ko dito, units yung tanong, no? Compute the volume of sales in units yung sabi. So, ibig sabihin, CM per unit. Ang gagawin ko lang dyan, class. Okay, so break even point, fixed cost. Ano yung fixed? Given ba yung fixed cost? Yes, 1.8 million. Fixed cost over weighted average contribution margin per unit, 320. 1.8 million divided by 320. Yan, nakuha ko dito, class, 5625 units. Pero tandaan mo, ang tawag dyan, sa masosolve mo na yan, is composite break-even point. Iyan yung total na mababenta mo na products A and B. Kailangan mo pang alamin yung breakdown. Ilan dyan si A, ilan dyan si B. Gets ba? Okay. So, ito yung composite. Hindi pa yun yung final answers natin. How much dyan ilan dyan si A, ilan dyan si B? Ganito lang kadali yan. Gamitin mo lang yung weights kanina. Okay? I-weighted average mo ulit. Ganun lang. Okay? So, 5625 times 3 over 8. Makukuha mo kay A is, round off ka na lang, 2110. Yung final answer for A, 5625 times 5 over 8, you get 3515. Okay, so round up ko na lang, 2110 and 3515. So, ano yung nagbago na sa solution natin? Pag may sales mix, pag multiple products, i-consider mo yung sales mix. Ang ginawa lang natin, class, kinumpute natin yung weighted average contribution margin using sales mix as weights. Nung nagawa na natin yun, in-apply lang natin yung same formula, pero tandaan mo, ang makukuha mo is the composite break-even. Pag sinabing composite break-even, yun yung total. Kailangan malaman mo na yung breakdown, ilan si A, ilan si B. Prorate mo lang, using their sales mix ulit. Sales mix lang. Siyempre, yung total niyan, 2110 plus 3515, that is 5625. Okay? Question B. Earn 800,000 of income before income taxes. Ano tawag dyan? Dito yun. Di pa natin di-discuss. Or di pa tayo nakapag-solve. Target profit yan. Or desired profit. Earn 800,000 of income before taxes. Sir, ano nga ba yan pag may target profit? Same formula, okay? As break-even point, dalagdagan mo lang sa numerator ng target profit. Hinighlight ko kanina, dapat lagi yung before tax. So, ang gagawin ko lang dyan, class. Okay, so, 1.8 million yung fixed cost natin. Pa-plus ko yung target profit. How much daw yung target profit? 800,000. I-divide ko sa weighted average contribution margin na 320. Okay, so 1.8 divided by 800,000. 1.8 plus 800,000 divided by 320. I got here 8125. Nakuha mo din yun, 8125. Iyan yung composite natin. I-breakdown natin yan into A and B. 8125 times 3 over 8. You get 3047. Round up ko na lang. So 8125 times 5 over 8, you get 5078. Yun. So final answer for A, 3047. For B, 5078. Let's go to question C. Earn 800,000 of income after taxes. Kaya ako hinighlight kanina kasi minsan ang given sa problem after tax. Dapat laging before yan. Therefore, gross up mo muna. Okay? So 1.8 million plus yung 800,000 since after tax yan, kailangan mo i-gross up. Paano ko ba nag-gross up pag may tax? I-divide mo lang sa 1 minus tax rate. In this case, 30% tax rate. 1 minus 30% is 70%. I-divide natin by 70%. Divide natin by the contribution margin. Okay, so gawin ko 800,000 divide by 70% to get the gross up. Plus 1.8 million, divide sa 320, you get 9196 units. 9196 units, iyan yung composite units. Okay, i-allocate natin to A and B or prorate natin. 9196 times 3 over 8. 9196 times 3 over 8, you get 3448. Yung nakuha ko, okay? Or 3449. Okay lang yan. 9196 times 5 over 8, you get 5748. Okay, 5748. Yun yung final answers natin. Tandaan mo lang, pag may target profit ka, before tax lagi yan, ha? Okay, let's go to question D. Earn 12% on sales revenue in income before tax. Ba, kakaiba sir. Earn 12% on sales revenue. How much daw yung bebenta natin na unit? Ilan units to earn 12%? Ang una kong gagawin dyan. So, tingnan nyo kung gagawin ko, ha? Kukunin ko muna yung weighted average selling price. Pakita ko later kung bakit. Ito yung weighted average CM, tama? Kunin ko yung weighted average selling price. So, paano naman yan, sir? Divide yung selling price natin. Okay? So, 12 times 3 over 8 plus 240 times 5 over 8. Sige nga, complete natin class. Okay, 12 times 3 over 8. Plus ko dyan yung 240 times 5 over 8, you get 600. Nakuha mo yung weighted average selling price sa 600? Yes? Okay. Sir, bakit mo kinuha yan? Kasi class, mag-algebra na lang ako. Okay, algebra lang ako. So, sabi dyan, gusto daw niya mag-earn ng 12% of sales. So, ang tinatanong sa atin, ilan daw yung units na ibebenta natin? Mag-solve for X tayo. For example, class, yung X natin, ito yung sales in units. Ito yung nahanap. Tama? Tama ba ganito yan? Kung yung selling price ko, okay, so ang gagawin ko dyan is, yung contribution margin ko is 320. Tama ba, class? Yung 320 na contribution margin per unit, pag minultiply ko siya sa X, okay, which is yung unit sales natin, tama ba makukuha natin yung total contribution margin? Does that make sense? Okay. So yung X ko, yan yung units na nabenta, multiply natin sa CM per unit, makukuha ko yung total CM. Okay? So, ma-minus ko lang dyan yung fixed cost na given sa problem, 1.8 million. Sabi dyan, dapat daw ang ma-earn mo is 12% of sales. Ano ba yung 12% of sales? 12% of, paano man nakuha yung sales? Uy, 600 yung selling price. Tapos, pag minultiply mo siya sa X, selling price times yung number of units na binenta mo, di ba yun yung total sales mo? 600X. Does that make sense? Okay. So yeah, so, ganito ang gagawin ko dyan. 320X minus 1.8 million. Ano ba yung 600 times 12% times 0.12? 72x. Okay. So, solve for x. Lipat natin yung 72 dito. So, 320 minus 72, 248. So, 1.8 million divided by 248. Makukuha ko dito, class. 1.8 divided by 248, you get 7258. Ayun, 7258 units. Okay lang ginawa ko. Okay, so, nag-algebra lang ako basically. Yun yung composite. Right? So, kailangan pa natin malaman ilan dyan si A, ilan si B. Edi 7258 times 3 over 8. Okay, times 3 over 8, you get 27. Okay, so 2722. Ayan, 2722 for product A. 7258 times 5 over 8. 4536 for product B. These are your final answers. Okay. Let's go to the last item, question E. Earn 12% on sales revenue in after-tax income. O, sabi ni sir, dapat laging before tax yan. Ibig sabihin, parang yung sa letter D, pero ang gagawin ko, gross up ko siya. Okay, so ganito ang gagawin ko dyan. So, mangyayari dyan, 320x, okay, 320x minus 1.8 million. Okay, sabi, after tax daw ibig sabihin, ang gagawin ko dyan, yung 72x ko, i-divide ko pa yan. I-gross up ko yan, i-divide ko by 70%. Nakuha mo yan? So, ang mangyayari dyan, ano ba yung 72x over 0.7? Computing natin, 72 divided by 0.7, you get 102. So, ano natin? Tingnan natin class. So, ang gagawin ko dito, okay, mag-algebra lang ako, solve for x tayo. So, ang mangyayari dyan, i-multiply ko dyan, ha? So, 320x times 0.7, 224x, minus 1.8 million times 70%. So, kailangan medyo ma-recall mo ng konti yung algebra, pero simpleng algebra lang naman. Times 0.7, 1260, is equal to 72x. Okay? So, solve for x tayo. 224 minus 72. So, gagawin ko dyan, 1260 over 224 minus 72. You get 152. Okay, so 1260 divided by 1260 divided by 152, you get 8295 yun. Sakto, 8295. Allocate natin to A and B, 8295 units times 3 over 8. For A, meron kang 3111. For product B naman, 8295 times 5 over 8, you get 5184. 5184. These are your final answers for products A and B. Okay. So actually, I think yung problem 5, yan na yung, or ano ba to? Problem 6, I think yan yung pinaka-challenging sa handouts natin. No? Let's go to number 7. Mabilis lang yung number 7. Okay. Mary Joy Company manufactures and sells 3 products. Meron tayong multiple products. So automatic, may isip mo na doon. Weighted average contribution margin. Fixed cost, 3,315,000. Sales mix, 30%, 50%, 20%. Selling price and variable cost. Class, compute natin yung contribution margin per product. Si A, 250 minus 100. You get 150. Nakuha mo yan? 150. Sulat ko na. Si A, may 150 siya. Si B naman, 350 minus 150 is 200. Si C, 500 minus 250 is 250. Okay? Multiply na rin natin sa percentages nila para makuha natin class kung ano yung contribution, weighted average contribution margin. 150 times 30%, you get 45. 200 times 50% is 100. 250 times 20% is 50. Okay? So 45 plus 100 plus 50, you get 195. This is your weighted average contribution margin. Basta makuha mo na yan, easy na yan, class. Letter A, ayun na pala. Determine the weighted average contribution margin. 195 yung sagot natin for question A. Question B, determine the break-even volume in units for each product. How much yung fixed cost? Sabi sa problem, 3315. 3315,000, i-divide mo sa 195. Makukuha mo dyan class, 3315 divided by 195, 17,000 units. Ang tawag dyan, composite break-even. Iyan yung total. I-prorate pa natin yan to A, B, and C. Ano gagamitin mo dyan? Sales mix, 30%, 50%, 20%. 17,000 times for A, 30%, 5,100. 17,000 times 50% for B, 8,500. And 17,000 times 20% for C, 3,400. Yan yung mga sagot natin. 5,100 for A, 8,500 for B, 3,400 for C. Okay. Last item, C. Determine the total number of units that must be sold to obtain a profit for the company of 234,000. Ang tawag natin dyan? Target profit. So, fixed cost na 3315, mag-add ka lang ng profit, which is yung target 234,000. Okay? So, 3315 plus 234 over 195. Ano makukuha natin dyan? Okay, 3315,000 plus 234,000 divided by 195, you get 18,200. Allocate natin to products A, B, and C using their sales mix. 18,200 times 30% for A, 5,460. Okay, so for B, 18,200 times 50%, you get 9,100. And then for C, 18,200 times 20%, you get 3,640. These are our final answers for question C. Class, let's continue answering your handouts. Doon naman tayo sa theory questions. So class, in MS, in the board exam, equally important yung theories. Okay? So usually, 50-50 yan. 50% problems, 50% theories. So wag lang puro sagot na sagot ha. Dapat mag-focus din kayo sa pag-answer ng, o hindi lang dapat puro problem solving. Dapat puro, may mga theories din. Okay? So yun. So, theory number 1. Cost volume profit analysis can be used to study the effect of A. Change in selling prices. B. Change in fixed and variable cost. Change in product sales mix. Letter D yung sagot natin class. All of the above. Letter D for number 1. CVP analysis requires costs to be categorized as, alam natin, variable and fixed. Okay? So yun yung focus ng contribution margin income statement. For number 2, it's letter A. Which of the following is not a major assumption underlying CVP analysis? Okay. So yung mga ginawa natin class ng formulas, actually may underlying assumptions yan. Yung A, B, and C, underlying assumptions yan. So basahin natin. A, all costs incurred by a firm can be separated into either fixed and variable. Alam natin yan. B, the product selling price is constant. C, operating efficiency, employee productivity are constant at all levels. Yung D, mali yan. For multi-product situations, the sales mix can vary at all volume levels. Hindi. Ang assumption dyan, pag multiple products, the sales mix is constant. Okay, kaya mali yung may vary na yan or can vary. Dog for number 3. Isulat mo na rin to class. One of the assumptions pa in CVP analysis is yung units produced is equal to units sold. Okay, kung how much yung produce mo, this period, hindi yung nabenta mo. 4. Contribution margin can be defined as, alam natin yan, dog sales minus variable expenses or variable cost. 5. After level of volume exceeds the break-even point. Okay, so after the level of volume exceeds the, pag nag-exceed na tayo ng break-even, asan yung break-even natin? Okay, tingnan natin class. A, the contribution margin ratio increases. Hindi, same pa rin. Okay, constant yung CM ratio natin. B, the total contribution margin exceeds the total fixed cost. Actually, that's correct. Okay, pag nag-exceed na tayo ng break-even, asan ba yung formula natin ng break-even? Okay, ito. Pag nag-exceed na tayo dyan, ibig sabihin class, mas mataas na yung contribution margin sa fixed cost. Kasi, di ba sa break-even, contribution margin is equal to fixed cost. So, pag nag-exceed tayo sa break-even, mas mataas na yung contribution margin kaysa sa fixed cost. That's why for number 5, boy yung sagot natin. Okay, yung C, the total fixed cost per unit will remain constant. Hindi, alam natin, bumababa yung fixed cost per unit as we produce. Okay? And then, yung D naman, the total contribution margin will turn from negative to positive. Mali yan. 6, at break-even point. Tingnan natin yung ibang choices. A, sales would equal to contribution margin. Hindi. Okay. B, contribution margin would be equal to fixed expenses. That's correct. Okay. Ayan. Alright. So, B na yung sagot natin for number 6. Yung C, contribution margin would be equal to net operating income. Hindi. Dapat CM would be equal to fixed cost. Sales would be equal to fixed expenses. Mali. Sales would be equal to total cost. Okay. So, kaya mali yung D. Let's go to number 7. The break-even point would be increased by. Okay. Now, pag ganito yung question sa mga problems class, no? Pwede mo siyang sagutan through formulas. Okay? Pero pwede mo rin siyang i-analyze through logic. Sir, ano ibig sabihin mo doon? Di ba, class, ano ba gusto mo sa break-even? Ulitin ko lang. Ano gusto mo sa break-even point? Tumaas or bumaba? Gusto mo sa break-even, bumaba. Okay? Kasi, para konti lang mabenta mo, pero mako-cover mo agad yung cost mo. Di ba? Yun yung gusto natin? Therefore, class, sa break-even point, tandaan mo to, kung gusto mo siyang bumaba, dapat may mangyaring favorable. Okay? Pag tataas naman yan, may mangyaring unfavorable. Does that make sense? Okay? So, paano ba nataasan yung break-even point? Well, sa formula natin, paano siya bumaba? Okay? Paano bababa sa formula? Well, bababa yung fixed cost, or tataas yung CM per unit. Di ba class, pag binaba mo yung fixed cost, nakakatipid yung company, favorable yun. Tama? Pag tinaas mo yung CM per unit, tataas yung profit ng company, favorable yun. So, ulitin ko lang, pwede mo i-analyze through formula or ako mas gusto ko to. Isipin ko lang, bababa yung break-even point pag may favorable na nangyari sa company. Pag unfavorable, tataas yung break-even point. Okay, so paano yun, sir? Tingnan natin. Number 7, the break-even point would increase. Pag nag-increase siya, unfavorable. May mangyaring unfavorable. A decrease in fixed expenses, hindi. Pag decrease in fixed expenses, favorable yun. Mas maganda sa company yun. And also, pag tingnan mo yung formula, pag bumaba yung fixed cost mo, bababa yung break-even point. Gets ba yan? Okay, so mali yung A. B, a decrease in the ratio of variable expenses to sales. Pag bumaba yung ratio of variable expenses to sales, pag bumaba ito, tataas yung CM ratio mo. Pag tumaas yung CM ratio mo, okay, bababa yung break-even point mo. So, mali din yung B. Or, pwede mong isipin, bababa daw yung ratio ng variable expenses, bababa yung expenses ko. Di favorable sa company yun, bababa yung break-even ko dyan. Okay? C, an increase din na CMR ratio, yun yun. Pag tumaas yung CMR, bababa yung break-even. Pag tumaas yung CM ratio, mali pala. False din pala yan. Kasi pag tumaas yung CM ratio, bababa yung break-even point natin. Okay? So, none of the above ang sagot natin for 7. Kasi yung ABC, lahat yan magdi-decrease ng break-even point. Gets? So, mas gusto ko to. Ulitin ko lang ha. Kaya sabi ko kayo na important na alam mo yung interpretation ng formulas. So, gusto ko na break-even point ko bumaba. Therefore, dapat favorable yung mga mangyari sa company para bumaba yung break-even point. Number 8, which of the following strategies could be used to reduce the break-even point? Pag gusto mo ibaba yung break-even point, fixed expenses, ibaba mo yan. So, decrease. Contribution margin, itaas mo yan para favorable sa company. For number 8, letter C. According to CVP analysis, a company could never incur a loss that exceeded its total actually cost ng sagot sa number 9. Bakit, sir? Ano daw yung limit ng loss? Well, una, wala ka na benta. Zero yung sales mo. Kung zero yung sales mo, ibig sabihin, meron ka lang yung variable cost mo, meron kang variable cost, meron kang fixed cost. Okay? Therefore, yung sum niyan, yun yung maximum na loss mo. Okay? So, therefore, answer natin for number 9 is C. Ang maximum loss na possible sa isang company using CVP analysis is the total costs. Letter C. Introducing income taxes into CVP analysis. Okay, letter C yung sagot natin sa number 10. Increases unit sales needed to earn a particular target profit. Siyempre, pag nag-tax ka, i-gross up mo pa. Tama? So, tataas pa yung kailangan mong target profit. Letter C for number 10. Number 11, if the sales mix shifts toward higher contribution margin products, the break-even point, ano yun class? Favorable o unfavorable? Pag mas marami ka daw nabenta na higher margin, ibig sabihin, tataas yung profits mo. Tama? Favorable yun. Bababa yung break-even point mo. Letter A for number 11. Okay? 12, the break-even point is that level of activity. Alam natin class, pag break-even point, sales mo is equal to total cost. Sales or yung revenues mo. Letter A for number 12. Okay, so revenue is equal to total cost. A company that desires to lower its break-even, gusto nating i-lower. So gagawa tayo ng something na favorable. Alin yung favorable dyan? Decrease selling price? No. Unfavorable yan. Reduce variable cost? Yes. Letter B. Yung letter C, increase fixed cost? No. Sell more units? Pwede rin. Pero pag nag-sell ka ng more units, favorable yan. Kaya lang, ang problema dyan class, same lang din naman yung CM ratio mo. Tama? Kahit magbenta na mas marami, kung same yung CM ratio mo, ganun pa rin yung break-even point mo. So, ang best answer sa atin is boy, reduce variable cost. Kasi tataas yung CM ratio. 14, if a firm's net income does not change as its volume changes, the firm's, okay, sagot natin sa 14 class is dog. Okay, so pag doon nagbenta ka tapos hindi walang effect sa net income, okay, nagbenta ka pero walang effect sa net income, ibig sabihin class, yung sales price mo is equal to variable cost. Ibig sabihin, yung CM mo is equal to 0. Okay, so equal yan. Equal yung sales and variable cost mo. CM mo 0, walang effect sa profit. Dog for number 14. 15, the contribution margin ratio always increases when, boy yung sagot natin, variable cost as a percentage of net sales decrease. Pag bumaba yung variable cost mo, sigurado tataas yung CM ratio natin. Kaya boy sa number 15. Number 16, ang company's break-even point in pesos of revenue may be affected by equal percentage increase in both selling price and variable cost. Kasi nga naman yung CM ratio. The equal percentage change in selling price and variable cost will cause the break-even point to, actually class sa number 16, dog yung sagot natin dyan. Bakit sir? Isipin mo ganito. For example, yung selling price mo and variable cost. For example, sa first scenario natin, selling price natin is 10. Therefore, yung variable cost mo 5, yung CM mo 5. Okay? Now, let's say class, itaas natin yan ng 10%. Sa second scenario, tumaas, yung CM ratio mo dito is 50%. Tama ba? 5 divided by 10, 50%. Itaas natin ng 10% yan. Yung 10 mo naging 11, yung 5 mo naging 5.5. 11 minus 5.5 is 5.5. 5.5 divided by 11 is still 50%. So kahit tumaas yung percentage change in selling price and variable cost, CM ratio mo will still be the same. Kaya dog yung sagot natin for number 16. 17, in a multiple product firm, the product that has the highest contribution margin will, obviously, pag mas mataas yung contribution margin mo dyan, letter C, generate the most profit. Okay, mas profitable yun, obviously. The margin of safety would be negative if, okay, for number 18 class, letter A yan, was presently operating at a volume below its break-even point. Kasi class, yung margin of safety natin, okay, nag-ooperate ka daw below nito. So yung sales mo daw, mas mababa kaysa sa break-even. Okay, so mas mababa ito kaysa sa break-even, therefore negative yung margin of safety mo. Kaya letter A yung number 18. Number 19, the margin of safety is a key concept of CVP. The margin of safety is, letter D yung sagot natin, the difference between budgeted or yung planned sales, pag sinabi mong budgeted, yun din yung planned, minus the break-even sales. Okay? 19 is dog. 20, if a company is operating at the break-even. Okay, pag nag-ooperate ka at break-even, ibig sabihin yung sales mo is equal to the break-even sales. Okay, so therefore, number 20 is boy. Okay, kasi kung equal yung dalawa na yan, yung margin of safety mo is 0. Okay, so letter B. Number 21, if the DOL is 4, then a 1% change in quantity sold should result in a 4% change in, alam mo na yan. So 4 times 1% is 4%. Saan yung effect niyan? Sa profits or net operating income. 21, dog. 22 for theory, which of the following is correct? Calculation for the degree of operating leverage. Alam natin, it's letter C. Total contribution margin divided by net operating income. Okay, so yun yung, again, yung profit, pwede mong tawagan yan as operating income, net income. Usually sa MS, magkakamukha lang ibig sabihin yan. Okay? True or false? Okay, number 1, all other things the same. A reduction in variable expense per unit will cause the break-even point to rise. False na agad yan. Pag binaba mo yung variable expenses, tataas yung CM ratio mo. Tama? Bababa yung break-even mo. Or, mas gusto ko yung analyze yan, agad ito. Pag binaba mo yung variable expenses, favorable yun sa company. Therefore, bababa yung break-even mo. So, false tayo for number 1. Number 2, in CVP analysis, sales and production are assumed to be equal. Yes, it's one of the assumptions in CVP analysis. That's true. Number 3, all other things the same. The margin of safety in a pesos at a given level of sales will tend to be lower for a capital-intensive company than for labor-intensive company. Actually, class, for number 3 is true. Okay, so FYI na lang to, no? Yung margin of safety natin, mas mataas siya for capital-intensive. So, ano ba ibig sabihin ng capital-intensive? Ibig sabihin, class, maraming equipment or PPE na ginagamit yung company. Pag maraming PPE, mataas yung depreciation. Tama? Yung depreciation is a fixed cost. Therefore, mataas yung fixed cost. Okay? Pag mataas yung fixed cost mo, yung break-even point mo mataas. Therefore, pag binasa mo yung 3, all other things the same, the margin of safety of sales will tend to be lower for a capital-intensive. Pag mataas yan, mas mababa yung margin of safety mo. Okay? So, ulitin ko, pag mas capital-intensive, mas mataas yung fixed cost. Therefore, mas mataas yung break-even. Pag mataas yung break-even, bababa yung margin of safety. That's why for number 3, it's true. 4, a company's break-even is the level where total revenues equal total cost. Yes. So, true yan. Ibig sabihin, profit natin is equal to 0. After the break-even point is reached, each peso contribution margin is a peso of after-tax profit. Okay sana. Pero ang tama dyan, before-tax profit. Okay? So, false for number 5. Ibig sabihin daw, class, once na-reach mo na yung break-even or once na-cover mo na yung fixed cost, for each unit na ibebenta mo subsequently, mag-i-increase yung profit mo by the amount of the contribution margin. Pero before tax. Okay? 6. When using CVP analysis to determine the sales level for desired amount, the profit is treated as additional cost to be recovered. Yes. Kaya tayo nag-a-add sa fixed cost pag may target profit tayo. So that's true for number 6. Number 7, when computing profit on an after-tax basis, it is necessary to divide the pre-tax profit by the effective tax rate. Mali. By 1 minus effective tax rate pag nag-gross up tayo. So, kulang siya ng 1 minus. So, false. 8, the margin of safety is the effective measure of risk of a company. Yes. Mas gusto natin. Less risky. Okay, less risky pag mataas yung margin of safety kasi mataas yung buffer natin bago tayo mag-net loss. Number 9. Actually, for number 9 din, very interesting to. Sabi dyan, the margin of safety is computed by dividing 1 by the degree of operating leverage. Okay, so true ba yun? Tingnan natin, class. Sabi dyan, yung margin of safety daw, ano ba yung formula ng margin of safety? Ano ba yung formula ng DOL? Okay, yung DOL natin is equal to CM over profit. Okay? Sabi dyan, class, yung margin of safety daw natin is 1 divided by nito. Ibig sabihin, pag 1 nag-divide ka sa something, i-reverse mo lang. So, dapat dyan, class, profit daw over CM. So, true or false daw ba yan? Ito, true or false yan. Actually, true yan. Bakit, sir? Mas maganda dyan, class, mag-try tayo ng amounts. Balikan doon sa problem 8. Okay, punta sa problem 8. Okay, so sa problem 8, class, yung DOL na na-compute natin doon, 5. Tama ba? So, ano yung 1 over 5? Kasi 1 over DOL daw eh. Dapat ang makuha nating margin of safety, 1 over 5. Okay? Which is, 1 over 5 is 20%. Okay? Yung margin of safety ratio natin. Dapat yan makuha natin ha. So, tingnan natin, class. Sa problem number 8, yung margin of safety is equal to sales minus break-even point in sales. Okay? Ang given na sales sa problem 8, na sales revenue natin is 1,350,000. Tama? 1,350,000. how much yung break-even point dun sa problem number 8. Compute natin. Yung fixed cost natin for problem number 8, if you remember, 432,000 yan. Yung CM ratio naman sa problem 8, compute natin. Yung CM is 540,000, i-divide natin sa 1,350, 40%. Okay? So, 432,000 divided by 40%, you get 1,080,000. Therefore, yung margin of safety natin, 1,350,000 minus 1,080,000, you get 270,000. Paano mo ba makuha yung margin of safety ratio? Di ba class? Margin of safety divide mo sa sales. So, 270 divided by 1,350,000, okay, 1,350, you get 20%, which is consistent dun sa nakuha natin. Okay, so ibig sabihin, for number 9, this is true. Okay, so yung DOL, yung margin of safety natin is equal, mathematically, na-prove natin siya, is equal to 1 over DOL natin. Okay? Kaya sa number 10 is also true. Sabi dyan, there is an inverse relationship between DOL and margin of safety. Ayun, na-prove natin. Inverse relationship. 1 over 5 siya. Alright, last one. Doon tayo sa graph. Okay, so drawing ko na yung graph para mas madali class. Okay, so lagyan natin yung final answers. Sa number 1 natin, ito. This is activity-based. Okay, so activity-based or basically ito yung activity level. Yung sales in units natin, usually yun yung ginagamit natin. Pwede rin yung direct labor hours, pwede machine hours, pero usually unit sales yan. Unit sales. Ayan. Or sales na lang. Okay. Next natin yung number 2 natin is this one. This is the break-even point, letter A. Kasi class, kung i-analyze mo yan, tama ba ito yung fixed cost? Okay, so based dun sa discussion natin sa first topic, ito naman yung variable cost. So fixed cost plus variable cost, you have the total cost. Okay, ito naman yung sales mo. Right? Itong line na yan, yan yung sales mo or yung revenues. Alright? Now, so kung yung sales mo, mas mataas sa total cost mo, you have the profit. Pag naman yung sales mo, mas mababa sa total cost mo, you have a loss. Pag yung sales mo equal sa total cost, you have the break-even point. Okay, so that's why sa number 2, break-even point natin is this one, letter A. Yung pesos natin is this one, okay, letter E. Usually class ito yung peso sales natin, okay? So yung x-axis yata tawag dyan. Number 4 natin, yung fixed cost is this one, letter C, okay, so graph. Yung loss natin is this one, letter G, so graph. Profit natin, pag mas mataas yung sales natin sa total cost, which is boy for number 6. Yung revenues natin is this one. Siyempre, zero revenue so pag wala ka na benta. Alright, so that's letter I. Yung total cost natin, add mo lang yan. Okay, so ito siya, which is letter H. And then, yung variable cost natin is this one. That is letter F. Okay, so double check ko lang ha. So you have D, A, letter E, letter C, G, B, I, H, F. Okay, so these are your final answers. So I believe nasagutan natin lahat sa handouts. Alright, so that's the end of our discussion for CVP analysis.